The Skinner Auto Group in Richfield Springs and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. A special good morning and happy first spring to Elizabeth from Grandpa and Grandma Perry.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. Today we are continuing our tour of the Southern Adirondack Scenic Byway with a little stop in Newport, so come along.
And I know you've been there too. I wish that we were like old friends, like we were when I was 10.
It's a beautiful day for a hike, and the Trenton Falls Scenic Trails are open. Plan a good hour to enjoy this historic scenic hiking trail from 9 to 5. It's only open 2 weekends a year, so don't miss the Trenton Falls Scenic Trails open today. It's time for the Skinner Auto Group road trip. We stop into Skinner Auto in Richfield Springs, where the guys are ready to take you on a tour of their spring crop of new vehicles. This week, we wrap up our tour of the Southern Adirondack Scenic Byway traveling from Middleville to Newport. But you can continue following the route into the Adirondack Park all the way to Speculator. Before we leave the town of Fairfield, we tour the historic arch bridges. Lilino Stone Arch Bridge is located on Route 29, 1 mile east of Middleville. It was built in 1870 and spans Multanner Creek. About a mile and a half northwest of Middleville, off Route 28, we take Castle Road to Old City Road. You can no longer drive over the historic Double Arch Bridge, but you can walk over to see the spectacular Upper Falls. At one time, there was a stone castle located high above Wolf Hollow Creek. We travel another 2.5 miles up Route 28 to Newport and turn left on Bridge Street to the historic Four-Arch Stone Bridge. The bridge was built in 1853 and spans 238 feet across the West Canada Creek.
Through those times I never felt the struggle between love and war. Touched my heart in many ways I've never felt before. So honey, reconsider this as you walk out the door. 'Cause I'll do anything for you. Yes, I do anything for you. If you ask me to swim the 7 seas or fight a crocodile, I'll pull on my swimming trunks just to see you smile.
We visit the Bradford Memorial Library on Main Street in Newport, built by George Bradford in memory of his father, Hope Still. The Bradfords were Mayflower descendants. William Bradford came to America on the Mayflower and served Plymouth Colony as governor for over 30 years. The oldest business in Newport is W.E. Autenrith Sons Incorporated. It was established in 1894 by William E. Autenrith Sr. as a funeral home and furniture business. It may seem like an unusual combination today, but 120 years ago it was quite common for the undertaker to be a furniture maker, to make the caskets, and also provide many of the other services that are typically delegated today. The great-grandson of W.E. Autenrith Sr. and his son are still carrying on the family tradition. We go from Newport's oldest business to its newest, the Newport Marketplace. Beautifully situated overlooking the West Canada Creek, this new store has a food market, vendors, a dance studio, a barber shop, and a newly opened ice cream shop.
To see what we can see, traveling around the Mohawk Valley. Let's see.
Okay, we've been here about 18 years in this building. We used to be the West Side Saloon and Steakhouse for 17 years. And we were very blessed and successful. And as the economy changed, we needed to switch it up a bit. So we decided to change it into the Newport Marketplace. And we've added other businesses to our business, and it makes us a great place to stop, whether it be for a barber shop or whether it would be for Whole Foods or whether it be for the vendor mall. We also have a dance studio here in the building, which does exercise for the older ladies in the morning. It does dance studio for the children in the afternoons, and Zumba at night. And we are now welcoming our newest tenant, which will be the Bear Cave at Drive-In, and they'll be serving soft ice cream. It's awesome because you know a lot of the folks who come in, and it's an opportunity to be a service in a small community.
Stay tuned for more from the Newport area after the break. Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 11:35 p.m. on WKTV. And check out what's new on MohawkValleyLiving.com.
Break your heart. If I could write a song, it'd be a miracle. If I could last that long, it'd be a miracle. If I could write a song, it'd be a miracle.
Back in 1945, Skinner Auto began as a small dealership on the corner of Routes 20 and 28 in Richfield Springs. Today, Hiram Skinner is proud to have his son Roger at the helm, continuing the tradition of service to the customer and the community. In 1866, James B. Turnbull walked to farms and villages to visit his customers, earning their trust. Today, the fourth generation of Turnbulls continue that dedication, tailoring a life insurance plan to suit your unique needs and priorities. Turn to the company that is out there to earn your trust. Turn to Turnbull. Discover your best look this Saturday at A Fashion Affair, a fashion show for mothers and daughters, old friends and new, featuring local businesses with made-in-the-USA products and items by local artisans. It's A Fashion Affair this Saturday at the Kirkland Arts Center in Clinton. Tom's Natural Foods is your connection to local farms for natural and organic fruits and vegetables, meats, eggs, cheeses, and other milk products at Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally. Why do contractors and do-it-yourselfers shop Lincoln Davies? It's the superior grade lumber, the value for the money, the 140 years and 6 generations of customer service. Since 1872, Lincoln Davies has delivered superior lumber, value, and service, and they're not about to change things now. Celebrating 140 years at the same location, just 10 minutes south of New Hartford on Summit Road between Routes 12 and 8. Lincoln Davies, building them like they used to. Remember when you used to bring your mother bouquets of dandelions? I'll bet she does. Brighten her Mother's Day with a floral gift from Chester's. You can even shop Chester's greenhouses on Mother's Day. Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com. You'll find treasure around every corner at Cobbler & Company. 12 rooms filled with eclectic gifts for your friends and family, home and garden. Cobbler & Company in historic downtown Sharon Springs. This week we're taking a drive through the beautiful Cuyahoga Valley. This valley was formed by the mighty West Canada Creek that runs from the southern Adirondack Mountains, forming Hinckley Reservoir, cascading down Trenton Falls and emptying into the Mohawk River near Herkimer. The river was an important waterway to the Mohawk Indians, who gave it the name Cuyahoga. Our journey will take us up through this valley, starting in Fairfield. Here we meet a young family that moved up from Long Island to start a new life farming in the Cuyahoga Valley.
This farm is called Snow Wind Farm because either it is snowing or the wind is blowing, but on a beautiful summer day like today, it is just like being in Ireland. You look over here at this countryside and it's Ireland and it's beautiful.
Well, I have 4 children, and I think it's really good for them to see the progression of life, the birth, the way that the animals live, the natural way that they would be. I think it's just a very, very nice experience for them to have. I think that it's just something I was meant to do. Before we had the animals, before we had the farm, I kind of felt like I didn't know, I was a stay-at-home mom and that was great, but I just didn't know what I really, wanted. And now having them, it's wonderful. You get every season is something different, and it just ties into the whole, the way that the earth is, and I love it.
Besides raising milk, cheese, and meat for her family, Michaela shears, washes, cards, and spins fiber.
There's a place in
We do washing and carding, which is the process of combing it straight into the roving so that it can be spun. We do spinning, and then we do the plying, which makes it into the yarn itself. So.
There are all kinds of animals here, but I noticed the sheep because the sheep here are wagging long tails. I didn't realize until today that their tails are usually docked, cut off, but here they're not. So here they have these tails that are a wagon. Something else I learned here today is that egg production is connected to the amount of light, and that when the daylight goes below 14 hours a day, production falls by 75%.
You can meet Michaela of Snow Wind Farm and purchase raw fiber, roving, yarn, and fresh eggs at the Little Falls Farmers Market every Saturday from 8 to noon on Albany Street in Little Falls.
Just for you. Captive audio, sing round the breeze, and over the mountain, and out of key. Nobody noticed the song was played just for you. Just for you.
We travel east to the village of Middleville, right in the middle between the towns of Fairfield and Newport. In the center of the village is the 120-year-old EJ Willis Company, an industrial and commercial machine shop. But what most people find fascinating is their manufacturing of bells.
Nowadays, we communicate by telephone and by cell phones. We can talk to the neighbor just down the road on the cell phone. But centuries ago, before there was that technology, people would communicate with bells. This is how mom told you to come in for lunch or for dinner. This is how the school marm said it's time to come into class. And it was with these beautiful bells that are now manufactured right here in Middleville, New York. These Willis ship bells travel around the world, and two of them were famous ships upon which they travel are the John F. Kennedy and the Amelia Earhart.
The company started in 1888 in New York City, Chamber Street, near the water. And back in those days, it was all marine hardware, nothing what you see here that we're doing now. And a gentleman named Charles Oliver bought it and moved it up in Middleville. And he slowly but surely incorporated big machines and did other things beside marine hardware. And my dad bought it in 1959 because Mr. Oliver didn't pay his taxes. And he was ready to scrap the place. And the guys that worked here talked him into keeping it going as a business. And it's become successful. Well, I was kind of thrown into it because my dad ran it until he passed away in '97. And my mother said, somebody's got to keep it going, Mitch. And there was a few rough years getting going, but I took over here in 2000. And we had some lean years up until about 2003. And then I don't know if it was luck. I don't think it was all my management skills. Maybe a little of both, but we really took off. We've got a lot of orders and a lot to be thankful for.
And we're thankful to Mitch and Gordon for the gift, a beautiful Mohawk Valley living bell. If you would like a unique Willis bell for your boat, camp, or to commemorate a special event, visit EJ Willis Company at 37 North Main Street in Middleville, or call Mitch at 891-7602.
My walking cane, hand me down my walking cane. I'm leaving on the midnight train. My sins all taken away, taken away.
We travel north through the Cuyahoga Valley to Newport, settled in the late 1700s by Benjamin Bowen, and also home to the Yale family, the famous lockmakers and inventors. We stop into the Newport Historical Center to learn more about the name Cuyahoga.
Well, there's several different translations, but basically the Mohawks used a word that was very close to Cuyahoga for the creek, the big area of water where they were settled and which they worked and lived around. But Cuyahoga itself is translated literally as meaning falling waters because it comes down so many falls all the way to the Mohawk.
Right next door to the Historical Center is another historic building. This former American Legion post was restored by Kim and Ryan DeFario. It's the first time in the building's long history that it is not serving a military purpose.
We were searching for a restaurant here in the Cuyahoga Valley. So right here on Main Street, we found the Main Street Ristorante, which is housed in a building that is from the Revolutionary War era.
I'm from Newport. I went to West Canada Valley Central School. Then I moved on to Johnson & Wales University in Providence, Rhode Island. That is where I met my husband in Rhode Island. Then we moved back here to open up the restaurant, and I came back to live closer to family, and he came back to fish and hunt and enjoy the woods and the waters of Central New York. This will be our 14th year. We opened December 1995. The community, the customers are just like our family. We have a lot of people that come from Utica, Rome, Boonville, Prospect, all through Oneida and Herkimer County. And today we even had people from Sylvan Beach, so that was really exciting.
The feeling around here is so old-fashioned. The food, too, is old-fashioned. If they should have it, be sure to order the carrot bisque soup. It is something unlike anything I've ever tasted before in the way of soup. And for dessert, if they have anything on the menu that's blueberry, be sure to buy it, because the owner's father, Rich, goes out in the fields, I guess it's fields, and actually picks the blueberries that are used to make the desserts. They are open Wednesday through Saturday. Come here this week and you're going to have a real treat, because you're going to be given with your entree one of Kim's homemade cannolis, and believe me, you're going to get a feeling for the Italian when you have one of her cannolis.
As they heading back to New Orleans, he didn't know how much he'd miss them. He didn't know how lost he'd been.
The automobile has gone through many changes through the years, but the Turnbull family's commitment to local drivers has not. Researching and selecting the best coverage for you with unparalleled service, claims handling, and settlement. Turn to a local company with 4 generations of knowledge and experience. Turn to Turnbull.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospitals on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment, and you're only available on the weekend. Sure, I have an appointment Sunday with Dr. Karen. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
Taste the homemade difference at Maria's Pasta Shop. Homemade lasagna, manigot, stuffed shells, ravioli, and more. Ready-made dinners, make it home, and party trays at Maria's Pasta Shop, Oneida Street in Utica. When you shop Meelan's Market, you'll be the grill master. That's because every hot dog, beef patty, and sausage is made by Bob Meelan himself. Find everything for your next cookout, from store-made meats to fresh salads and tabbouleh, at Meelan's Market at the Four Corners in Clark Mills. Allie Lynn's Home and Accessories for distinctive gifts. For the whimsical. For the bride. For American made. Allie Lynn's Home and Accessories, West Park Row in Clinton. The dessert booth is now open for dinner on Friday nights. Enjoy vegetarian seafood or the popular tapas, something for every taste and budget, at the dessert booth in Clinton. Visit the Little Falls Antique Center and the Shops at 25 West for an ever-changing selection of antiques and collectibles from over a dozen antique dealers. Upstairs at the shops, find over 30 more vendors, like Gaia's Garden for altered clothing and paper products by some extremely creative women. And We Wear Vintage, vintage clothing and accessories for those who like to dress up. There's also Jake's Bakes, handmade wheat-free treats for your dog. Visit the Little Falls Antique Center and the Shops at 25 West on your next visit to beautiful Canal Place in Little Falls. Discover your best look this Saturday at A Fashion Affair, a fashion show for mothers and daughters, old friends and new, featuring local businesses with made-in-the-USA products and items by local artisans. It's A Fashion Affair this Saturday at the Kirkland Arts Center in Clinton.
Over kind of no return. I'm gonna make my name in the headlight of Sundance, and I got no more bridges left to burn. So honey, don't look for me in the morning.
We head back to Poland and stop by the Cookie Cutter Marketplace and Museum. It is America's first cookie cutter museum, and there are thousands of cookie cutters in all shapes and sizes. Like most visitors, we were astounded by the incredible variety of cookie cutters.
Oh my golly, I never saw so many cookie cutters in my life. I get that all the time. Well, I think my kitchen at one time my museum used to be a kitchen. And in that kitchen, I baked cookies, and I had cookie cutters, and we decided we didn't have enough, so we started going to the shows, and we found some old ones, some new ones, so we bought them. Then we found out there was a club, and so we joined the club.
That was the end of it.
And then we went to a club meeting in Ohio. We went to one in Texas. Hey, we loved it. They are nice people. They all are cookie eaters. And my husband is an eagle eye. You know what that is? He don't miss nothing. I'd walk right past him. He'd see him. We'd buy him. And we have, let me see. I said that we put 2,000 out here, but I have about 1,000 in the house.
Now, what's your favorite cookie cutter that you found? What's your most prized possession?
I don't think I have one. I love them all. That's what I keep telling people. I love them all.
Now, what's something people might not know about cookie cutters?
I think they have no idea how far back they go in history. And they can be very expensive if you go back far enough. They're in museums over in Europe. That's where it started.
And how long ago was that?
Well, just like I said, the 15th century was what I have in my museum, reproductions. But you could go back further than that. All kids like cookies. We were brought up with cookies. And I think that's why. My mother made cookies for us. In fact, every time we visited my grandmother's house, she always had back in her back kitchen on the table a little plate with cookies for me and my brother. And we used to run back there to see what it was, because in the middle of each cookie was shiny spot. And we thought that was sweet. So we couldn't wait to get to the middle, and it had no taste. It was just egg white. And we were disappointed every time. I'm telling you, these are cookie stories.
Kate was right about how you feel when you walk into this place. When I came through that door and saw all of these cookie cutters, it was like taking me back to the 1940s. I can still picture my grandmother on the kitchen table with cookie cutters and flour, cutting out all these cookies that she would then bake for me. Kay took us on a tour of the museum, and I couldn't help but ask her what the smallest cookie cutter was that she knew of. She showed me this, and it's only ½ an inch. Then she showed me the oldest cookie cutter here, and that's the Tamworth Hog. It goes back to 1900.
Here's what's hot on the lot at Skinner Auto. Check out this 2010 Dodge Journey SXT. Only 29,000 miles and factory certified 100,000 mile warranty. Only $15,995. Stop into Skinner Auto to check out what's hot on the lot. Discover affordable original works of art by dozens of talented local artists at the Artisans Corner. Find handcrafted tinware, custom lampshades, pottery, jewelry, candles, soaps, and more. All local and all at the Artisans Corner in Clinton. Shop Shelter for handmade Adirondack furniture designed by craftsman Jim Kiefer. He works with you to create custom pieces to your specifications, from dining room and coffee tables to bookcases, beds, and bunks. Call or visit Shelter on Main Street in Old Forge. Enjoy a delicious pot of fine flavored varietal and herbal teas at the Tea Bar at Trenton Teas, or arrange an afternoon tea in the tea room. Visit TrentonTeas.com to learn about upcoming events or to arrange your own event at Trenton Teas on Elizabeth Street in Utica. The Longaretta Law Firm, protecting your rights and advising you in matters of legal importance. Call for your free consultation, 735-6162. Make any day a special day and a special day even better with fresh-baked pastries and cookies from Cafe Caruso on Bleecker Street in East Utica. Stop in or call ahead for special orders. Expecting company? Just call Deansboro Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377. If you're a nature lover looking for some elbow room, check out this beautiful Tug Hill property north of Camden. Over 200 acres of fields, woods, snowmobile trails, ponds, and streams, and even a 2,200-foot airstrip for visiting pilots. Call 525-5578. Savor the flavor of authentic Southeast Asian cuisine at the Lotus Garden Noodle and Sushi House. The Pooh family welcomes you to lunch or dinner at the Lotus Garden, 339 Bleecker Street in downtown Utica. If you're in a collision, you need precision. Call your insurance company first and then choose Precision Unlimited, providing expert auto body collision repair since 1987 on Route 5 in Clinton. Visit MohawkValleyLiving.com for an interview with Rich Masucci, organizer of the Veterans Outreach Center's benefit May 18th through 20th in Utica, featuring performances by dozens of bands.
She makes good tips. Since she quit smoking, got a nose like a bloodhound. If you want.
In spite of the weather we've all really enjoyed, all that nice weather, we crave those big plants, but let's keep in mind it's still April, and our plants should be small like this so that they can grow and come out just at the time when they should be in the ground in May. We try to organize our garden, take the time, go through the catalogs, get the seeds that you want, spend more time in preparing what you want to plant than really jump the gun, because you're going to be disappointed when the temperature does go into the freezing mark. For those early crops, you really want to be careful of the ones that really can handle the cold. Obviously, everybody knows that peas do well early, cabbage, onion sets can go in early. Some of the other more tender things you want to protect, and maybe you put some collars around, maybe you cover them with row covers, or maybe you'll just actually make a mini greenhouse over them. But let's not jump it too fast. Apple blossoms in snow, what does it really mean? People keep asking, are they going to actually produce fruit or not? It's early, it's cold. One of the things that we worry about is the frost. The cold weather can affect it. When it gets down around 28 degrees on blossoms like this, it will be effective. Also, the bees have to fly, and when it's snowing, raining, cold, they want to stay in where we all do inside, and pollination could be a problem. But hopefully there's enough blossoms around that will come out with a crop.
We hope that you enjoyed our tour of the Southern Adirondack Scenic Byway. Although we only went as far as Newport, the byway continues all the way up to Speculator. So jump in your car, because any day of the week it is a beautiful drive. Next week we will be going on another scenic drive along one of my favorite roads, Route 20. We'll be heading to one of my favorite places, Cherry Valley. So be sure to tune in. Between now and then, enjoy Mohawk Valley living.
What it is singing. Honey, honey, I got to know you. Ain't got no money, but I got plenty to show you. Honey, honey, meet me on the river road. Chi-Chi Raposo got a head like a beam. He steers a T-bird like you never seen. Picks up the young ones at the Dairy Queen, saying hop on in now. 'Cause